Yo, yo, yo! What's going on, great people? This is your boy Troy.
And I'm Trail.
Hey, from the TNT Unleashed podcast. This is the podcast where authenticity lives. This is where ego dies. Where we talk about everything from life to love to relationships to everything in between. You might laugh, you might cry, but we hope you leave what?
Unleashed.
Yo, what up, brother?
What's the business, Holmes?
Hey, you ever had a whole phase?
It had a whole phase, probably.
Huh?
It probably did. I think everybody had a whole phase, in my opinion. I think when you're going through puberty and you're trying to explore yourself sexually, everybody has a whole phase. I just think there's levels to it.
Okay.
Like there's an extreme whole phase.
Extreme hoe?
And then
so
there's
like a scale of 1 to 10, like a 10.
A 10 versus, a 2 or a 3. You know what I'm saying? I just think it just depends.
It just depends.
You know what I'm saying? I think, everybody go through a whole phase. What you think?
I think so too. I think everybody be lying.
I think everybody goes through a stage in their life where the chemical imbalance that comes along with puberty and make you walk around horny like a damn fiend takes over your body.
I don't know, Trey. I think it's a bunch of 30 and 40-year-olds going through whole phases. You want to know why? Here, let me tell you.
I got to know.
Hear me out. There's a lot of people that maybe they got married early. Maybe they're in their 20s. Maybe they was locked down for a young age.
Facts.
And then they start getting to around that age, around like 30, 35. And now maybe they divorced.
Whole phase.
What's the first thing a divorcee do?
Fuck.
Have a whole phase. They go fuck.
I think a whole phase could be a bit necessary.
Tell me more.
It's necessary to figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you're going to deal with, what you ain't going to deal with. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of how broad your catalog is. Like you can't have too broad of a catalog.
Okay.
I feel like women, like college age, 20s, they cover it up through dating.
Oh, they be hiding.
You know what I'm saying? So that means they could have sex with 10 men, 12 men, but they would date them all.
If they was texting, it's justified.
Yeah, that just so that they could feel good about it.
Yeah,
I had sex with all these men.
Yeah.
But they were all my boyfriend at a certain point in time. That's just a cover. Whereas dudes, because of social norms, we could do it without all that.
We just go do it.
You know what I'm saying? We're just going to go do it. We're just a little bit more real about it.
You know
that's what I think about the whole phase.
You know what it remind me of?
What?
It remind me of everybody met this girl right here. I don't usually do this, but girl.
Yeah.
That's what it remind me of.
You want to know something else ladies do?
What's up?
And it's in all our music.
Yeah.
That we grew up with. They'll be like, I don't do this, and that. But when they do it, they fantastic at it.
How you ain't practiced?
Like the best you ever had.
Yeah. But you don't usually do it.
But they ain't never did it.
Man,
what are
on,
you,
man.
a damn genius?
Get up out of here. So you had to practice, you had to practice at some point.
What are you, a genius?
Hey, look.
You a head genius? You a twerk genius?
Yeah.
You a riding genius?
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. On the other side of the coin, there's a bunch of men out here that be going through whole phases late. You want to know why?
Tell me
why. I'm glad you asked.
I got to know.
So, because finally they got some money.
Yeah.
So they get a little older. They around like 40 plus. And all of a sudden,
now you can go
now they have access to the women they didn't have access to before.
Yeah.
And they go through their whole phase then.
You could pay to play. Yeah. You could be a simp. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I feel like growing up, you could tell the difference between a man that's gotten action,
that's got juice,
or been through a whole phase younger, and got it out their system, right? Because they're a bit more balanced.
Yeah.
When they get older.
Yeah.
You already been there, you done did that, you got the dog out of you, you got all that stuff out.
Yeah.
So it scares me sometimes when people act like they ain't never tried it.
Bro.
Because I feel like it's going to come.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, that's the thing, though. If I feel comfortable around men who had juice before.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When you ain't got no juice till you older, now you flexing at 40, and that just ain't.
It ain't right.
That ain't what it is. I'm tired.
You gonna get messed up in the game because you're out of pocket.
Yeah.
Number one.
You out of season.
You out of season. But you also didn't develop your talk game.
That's true.
You didn't develop your talk game. You didn't know how to put that language down. You didn't know how to mind stroke.
That's a fact.
You didn't know how to make a woman feel a certain way to get what you needed.
That's
because
fact.
if you were good at it when you were young, you would already did it.
You already did it.
That means now you're trying to do it late and you haven't developed the skills. It's like somebody trying to play football at 50 years old, or you know what I'm saying, try out for the league at 35. Yeah. Your time is gone.
That's a fact. And you actually come off corny.
Yeah.
You come off real corny because now you lead with your money.
In fact.
Because it's like, oh, I got this and this, you should like me now. But I always say, money can't unlame you.
You can't.
You know what I mean?
Look, I learned this on a strip in Miami, homecoming in college.
Yeah.
From a baser that lived on South Beach, right?
Yeah.
His name was Double O. I'll never forget it. And he was pointing out all the undercover cops.
Okay.
And you know what he used to yell at him? You can change your shirt, but you can't change your walk.
You already knew.
You know what I'm saying? A lame gonna be a lame.
Gonna be a lame.
You can have
regardless.
on better clothes. You can ride in a better car.
Yeah.
But you still can't get it the natural way.
Man, look.
You do what I'm saying?
Look, I'm excited about this episode.
Tell me why.
I mean, first of all, we talking about the whole phase, but now let's get to what we really want to talk about. So before we jump into the topic, though, I got a fair foul for you.
Okay, fair foul.
So y'all know, audience out there, y'all know we started our fair foul. It's actually one of our most popular segments on the show. Fair or foul. So today we're gonna be talking about age gaps, right?
Okay.
Age gaps when dating, right? So I want to know, audience, is it fair or foul? So is it fair or foul to date someone that is 20 years younger than you, whether you're a woman or a man? 20 years. 20 years younger than you. Is it fair or is it foul? What you think, brother?
20 years is a lot. You know, I find that whoever the older person is probably immature or has some emotional stagnant growth. If they could be with somebody 20 years younger, unless everybody over 40.
Yeah, okay. That's
you see what I'm saying? So if the younger person is 40-something and the older person is 60-something, I could dig that. You know what I'm saying? But anything below that, 20 years is just way too wide of a gap. You know, somebody's being used, somebody's immature, or there's just an issue there. I won't try to diagnose it and try to determine exactly what it is. But it's something like, I can't sit around nobody 20 years younger than me.
Nah.
Not like in an intimate romantic space. Not 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That's more of a mentorship, man. And that's got to be in doses, like 30 minutes. I can't just sit around and kick it with you all night long. What about you, cuz?
Nah, I'm in 100% agreement. I think it's foul. And the reason I think it's foul is like, I think about my wife's younger sister. You know, I could imagine dating her. How? What we gonna talk about? What we gonna do together?
You're talking about the youngest one?
Yeah, the youngest one. The youngest one. So she's what, 19, 20? I'm sitting here thinking like, just sitting in the house with her. She's a great young girl. But I can't sit around her for a bunch of time talking about what we talking about.
She's a kid.
We talking about college stuff.
She's still in a kid space in comparison, right?
It's just seasons, right?
Yeah.
So 20-year age gap, to me, I don't think it's fair because I think you're cheating them out of something and they're cheating you out of something, right? So they haven't been through the seasons you've been through.
At all.
None of them.
At all.
In a 20-year age gap, very rarely have they gone through anything that you've been through.
At all.
So our connection points are just not the same. So that means that unless it's physical attraction, there's no substance to it.
It's got to be either that. The only way I think it works, man, is still very taboo. And that's a pure, legitimate sugar daddy. Because sugar daddies don't just spend money. They don't care either. You know what I'm saying? That means they're not going to house them. They're not going to like control them or nothing. You can go do whatever you want. Just sometime come and do it to me. Even that's not okay in my book. But it's a bit more honest. Than trying to have like a full-on relationship. So would you be mad if Shannon Sharpe, what do you think about Shannon Sharpe stuff? Like, what if Shannon Sharpe?
I'm so glad you asked.
Like, you know, we're talking about 19 and 54.
Say it again.
19.
How many years that is?
And
I can't
54.
do math in my head. How many years that is?
That's like 30-something.
Oh my God. So I got one word that comes to mind, and I'm sorry, but I rocked with Unc Shay Shay. Right? He was my guy.
Yeah.
But this right here, I can't really rock with.
That's some creepy shit.
Creep is the word that came to mind. It really puts me in a creep mind frame. Because I can't understand for the life of me what a 54-year-old need with a 19-year-old.
Yeah, man. You know, and it makes it even worse because of the shit he's into, right?
Yeah.
So that means he's not like an immature dude.
No.
Like dealing with a 19-year-old. He likes that BDSM stuff.
Yep.
That control. All that
race play,
all that extreme sex shit, right? And I like freaky shit.
Yeah.
But it would be even worse to tie up a little girl.
What you
Go
doing?
tie up a 50-year-old woman.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's some women that's into that.
Go tie up a 50-year-old woman. Oh, you know what? Let me even be more forgiving. Go tie up a 35-year-old woman.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
just
least,
if we're talking about just the sex,
you at least have a stretch mark or two.
Yeah.
You gotta have something.
Go tie up a woman that's fully grown, making their own decisions.
Exactly.
That you can at least trust a little bit. You can go. You can if it's just sex, Holmes. There's plenty of women between 30 and 60 that would do it. And you want to know? We already talked about porn on this show.
Yeah, we did.
We talked about all the categories.
We did.
Let me tell you something. After reviewing all the Pornhub statistics, people don't know they have statistics that come out every year.
Facts.
Women in over 40, their biggest search is rough sex and BDSM.
Oh, they love it.
That means naturally, it's easier
to get them to do it.
To go and get you a grown-ass woman to do that extreme stuff with, rather than a 19-year-old. Because a 19-year-old that's already into that is already a little bit scarred, you know. Hey, they already kind of scarred. Like
how you even know about this?
Even a young freak, at that age, don't necessarily know about, getting strangled and all the things they do to BDSM world. That's like a more mature space. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen no young folks like that. What you think?
My heart hurt a little bit.
It did, man.
You know what I mean? It hurt my feelings a little bit, bro. Because I'm like, he like an uncle. You know what I mean? Like, you look at him, look at his success, you look at what he got going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, why, bro? Like, you could have made a better decision, because I respected him as a businessman and an entertainer and an athlete and all the things. I'm like, just make a better decision.
You know, we love Club Shed. It's like I feel more disappointed than I do critical.
Exactly.
Because what would be worse, though? If he was dating her or doing the extreme sex with her?
Oh, I think both of them bad.
They are.
They both bad.
They horrible.
But if it was your girlfriend,
then I would view you as crazy. That
means even worse.
But I would at least view you as having like a mental illness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than being a creep. So that means my word would be mental illness,
man,
emotional immaturity, like extreme, right?
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't tolerate.
Yeah.
But that's just a different set of words that will pop up.
Something just came to my mind. Let me ask you a question though. All right, so how has your opinion changed now that you're a girl dad? Has it changed at all? Will you think it's different now that you're a girl dad?
You know what, Troy? I was raised right when it comes to girls and women.
Okay.
So the idea that that's too wide of a gap and all that doesn't change for me.
Okay.
Now that I'm a girl dad. I think my reaction system and me having to actually think about what I would do, I can entertain that now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's a very tangible space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If we are girl dads all across the crew.
Yeah.
Like, Facts. how many little girls we got part of the fam? It's like 8?
3, 4, 5, about 6. Let me see. About 8. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If Shannon Sharpe rode up while they was 19, we would have to jump him or shoot him.
Yeah.
This big ass, old ass dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But my thought process around it, when I was 25, 26, 27, I wouldn't deal with a 19-year-old.
Exactly.
Because that's like a high school kid. Like, those cats that be in college, and be dating and dealing with girls in high school.
Be creeping. Yeah,
I thought that was strange.
I always did.
Like,
always thought
that's
it was
like
strange.
That's just a couple years.
Old niggas at the high school.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is out of bounds for me, even way back then. So I think it's just how it's raised. I just feel like, man, you know what? I saw an interview, Shannon Sharpe. But again, we follow him a lot.
Yeah.
But a comedian came on, Shedeur Underwood.
Yeah.
Shedeur Underwood talked about how they went on a date and she wanted to fuck him.
Yeah.
And it's not the third. Go fuck Shedeur Underwood. She
do everything.
She's grew up hard. I really love her to death. But she will tell you herself she freaky. And tell you herself she like to do a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Go fuck with her.
I'm with it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying you gotta change. You gotta change whatever it is.
I mean, good luck to you. We're not gonna laugh at you. We're gonna learn from you.
We say allegedly.
No, I ain't no alleged. We're going to learn from you.
Allegedly. That's how you put the figures,
But
sir.
please,
Allegedly.
get your team right and stop getting them to announce things like you try to settle for 10 mil. Like, this, it's just not handled right, man.
Nah.
Just be cool. We also had an NFL draft, didn't we?
Oh, God. You just bringing up pain points.
Yeah. You know.
Shedeur. Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because you are a football aficionado.
I am, and I love
Deion
Prime Sanders.
You love Shedeur.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado football.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We supported them all last season.
Yep.
Right? So what do you think happened here?
I'm just going to keep it short and sweet, man. Mm-hmm. My biggest problem is how much variance there is to the analysis of it. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is this. They humbled confident, strong, non-submissive black men.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's just that simple.
That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of it was get back at Shedeur Daddy. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah, we can analyze like issues and collusion. We can analyze Deion talking about you can't just go anywhere. Mm-hmm. But everybody across the board that maintain confidence over the courses of our life have endured consequence.
They had to.
Muhammad Ali.
Yep.
Colin Kaepernick.
Yep.
Deion.
Yep.
Shedeur.
Yep.
And the Browns just crazy as hell because they could have set that standard. First of all, they traded away their draft pick. They could actually, from a business standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at it like this. They traded away their pick so Jacksonville could come up and take
Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm. And then let 5 rounds go by and then drafted the Shedeur, right? Now the Browns are trying to come up.
Yeah.
What if they drafted Travis Hunter
and
Shedeur? If y'all was going to do this scam.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, think about it. They still want to put fans
Butts
in the seats.
Yep.
Right? Butts in the seats, right? Mm-hmm. Who going to bring that?
That too.
Shedeur.
Those two.
And Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And they already got chemistry.
Yeah.
They can make this thing. Who else you got? You got Flacco.
And the dude they drafted a rookie quarterback above him or from Oregon.
Exactly. And then they still got Deshaun Watson milking them for money.
Yep. He been out here creeping.
Yeah.
He a creep.
He a creep too.
Alleged creep.
He a creep.
But everybody ain't lying. When a lot of people come out like that, my great aunt told me a long time ago, everybody ain't lying.
Everybody ain't lying, bro. Everybody ain't lying. But
so before we transition out, you got anything else?
No, I was gonna say the whole situation had me a little bit like uneasy the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like, I don't want to be seen that way. Because I could, in my life, I can see people looking at me and thinking, sometimes you're a little arrogant.
Yeah.
Or sometimes he got a little bit too much confidence. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he got a little too much je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's what pushes you to greatness.
Yeah, but that has to be, you can earn that right, because guess what you don't have?
What's that?
No record.
That's true.
You ain't walking around here smoking no dope.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't walking around here disrespecting nobody.
That's a fact.
You ain't got no charges. You ain't got no DUIs. You ain't got no issues. All you do is ball and have a good life. That's and enjoy yourself.
How dare you do that as a black man?
How dare you be too confident? Let's break you down.
How dare you? Let's just break you down.
You got to. I don't care what nobody else analyzes, man. That's just a breakdown.
Yeah.
So let's get on to something positive.
What's up?
Sinners, bro. Have you seen it?
Hey, man. Sinners was a blessing.
Sinners is one of the dopest movies I've seen in a long time. I've seen it twice.
And I'm not even a horror type fan.
I can't stand horror.
I don't like horror movies. But when I tell you the production, the casting, the script, the cultural symbolism.
Yep.
Sinners, you did your thing.
You got to go see it because it also describes the foundation and the history of blues and how it impacts all the other genres of music in a hyper creative way.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell you, at this stage in life, right, I've only walked out of the movie theater twice feeling empowered and strong as a black person.
Yeah.
And that was Black Panther and Sinners.
Yes, sir. What's his name? Is it
Coogler?
Coogler, yeah.
And
shout out to him.
Michael B. Jordan, that's his best role that I've seen him play.
Oh, God.
Playing those twins like that.
Twins?
And they loved each other, but were totally different.
Come on, talent.
You know what I'm saying? Man. The whole thing was magnificent.
Come on, Range.
Let's go.
Boy.
You know what I'm saying? I love that movie, man. Everybody go see it. Go see it multiple times. I know I've been twice so far. I'll probably do a third in that nice ass theater y'all went to. Tell us about the theater you went to.
So we went to like I don't know what they call it.
It's IMAX.
Is it like 4DX? Like so I'm sitting in the chair. First of all, I didn't know what to expect. My wife booked these tickets. So I'm like, all right, I've been to like an IMAX kind of 3D thing before. All right, bet. I'm sitting in the chair, joint come on. All of a sudden, the chair started moving.
Oh, the chair moved like a roller coaster?
like a roller coaster. I'm like, it's following the car. They roll up there. What killed me, though, was the first time one of them like vampire like premonition type things came up. It was like, boom. And when I tell you it had air that blew in my ear.
Oh, damn.
I was like, what is going on here? I was ready to go. But the funniest thing in the world, the girl next to me, the girl next to us, she didn't know at all what was going on. She got so scared. She went up. She was about to walk out. She had to move down seats because she's like, I ain't going to scare these people all day. She was yelling and screaming in the theater, bro.
That's dope.
It was kind of dope, though. I had never been on that experience. Yeah. That kind of experience. It was good.
That goes back to the director and the production of it because you have to create the movie a certain kind of way for it to be able to go to that theater.
Yep.
So that's just advanced work. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So let's get into these Unleashed Thoughts right quick.
Unleashed Thoughts.
So I'm going to go ahead.
We should have a theme song for Unleashed Thoughts.
Oh, don't worry. I got it.
No, see, never mind. I should not have it. Sorry, y'all. I should not have encouraged any singing from this guy. But anyway, so we're going to create a jingle, though.
Thoughts
Unleashed Thought jingle. So what's your Unleashed Thought for today?
I'm going to tell you about my next chapter of my micro-romance novel.
Do tell.
Do I need to get a backdrop? What that is?
Because some people might not realize how long you write these micro-romance novels.
A micro-romance novel is how you keep your intimate relationship alive.
Okay.
It's how you separate fantasy from reality. So if you're in relationships for an extended period of time, for a long time, you've got to create a fantasy. Yeah. You've got to create something that makes your partner, in my case, it's just a woman, step outside of reality.
Okay.
And just have a good time and let go of their adulting and whatever you've done all day.
Okay, micro-romance.
Okay. So my next micro-romance novel chapter is called Fast and Furious.
Okay, tell me more.
Fast and Furious. If you're in a drought or things are like, not good sexually, but you're still friends, whatever, that's where one partner drives up in a car with the music blazing, film, lit, not too lit to drive, but naked. So that means you got to ride up the street. You got to ride around with your titties out or your dick out or your penis out. And you got to drive around naked, right? Okay. And listen to your favorite songs until you get to a space where you can park and have car sex.
So they riding with you?
Yeah, you ride together.
So y'all ride together?
Yeah.
Y'all on the freeway?
Naked.
But naked?
Yeah, or at least titties out and penis or something out.
Okay.
So
how does this work? So what happens if you get pulled over by police?
I mean, I haven't been put over in a long time, so you can drive the speed limit.
I mean, whatever you do.
You got tinted
windows.
What you gonna do? Put your titties up. Put your balls up.
But it's supposed to be, free. So they
it's gonna be, if you ain't gonna be free if you get locked up.
So here's the question.
You have a destination in mind. So
you better have a destination.
You have a destination in mind. That means whoever's driving and initiating the naked shit. So let's say you're the driver.
Yeah.
You might demand that the passenger, which would be your wife, get naked or masturbate or something, and drive around with music on. Okay. Drive around. Go get you some toys or something.
Okay.
Drive around and pay her no attention. Okay. Drive around.
Okay.
Listen to music. Hopefully, masturbation goes down, and you already have your destination. So when the masturbation gets good enough, you go to your destination and you have car sex. Now, if the roles are reversed, I would want the woman to be naked or titties out or something. You know what I'm saying? And just drive me around like a passenger. Okay. And then take me to a destination, have car sex, come back home, act like it didn't happen. Bam.
Oh, okay. So.
Car sex.
The hardest thing about car sex is not car sex. hardest thing about car sex is finding the spot to have car sex.
Don't worry. If you write the good chapter, you know where it's at.
Okay.
There's a place you can go.
All right. Okay. I like that chapter. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. Like here in this city,
I'm gonna rent a car. I'm gonna get a VRB. Or no, what you call it? Toro. We had a Toro.
Yeah. Make sure the window's in it. But there's a couple spots out here that you're aware of. Go get you some quick car sex. Because the good news is, if you're driving, you won't have some good orgasms. You ain't gotta do a whole lot when you get there. Just get there and come on back home.
Okay. All right.
Have a picnic. Pack a cooler with some sandwiches. Have a car sex and eat the sandwich so you can get there.
That's a hell of an unleashed thought. Mm-hmm. See, now you make mine feel minuscule.
I'm just saying.
All I was gonna talk about.
Hey.
All I was gonna talk about was the fact that I went to hot yoga this morning. Yeah. And I just realized how not limber I am. Mm-hmm. So they had me in this hot yoga. I'm in the sauna, right? Mm-hmm. Doing all kind of vinyasavas and namaste.
Okay,
I don't even know how to say the language. Mm-hmm. But they was going nonstop for 60 minutes.
That gum.
And I was sweating the whole time. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't even hold my feet on the mat. My feet sweating. Mm-hmm. On the mat, I can't hold my warrior pose. Yeah. I can't hold my the waterfalls and the leopards and the cheetahs. And, oh man. All I know is this. I'm hurting.
You hurting?
So I did all that yoga to try to feel better. And now I'm hurting more. That's just bad. It's just bad. But I like it though. It was good.
It was good. It's helping with your health?
It's helping with my health. I feel good. Mm-hmm. I sweated a lot of stuff out. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you, hot yoga, I'm going to challenge all the men out there. Go do some hot yoga for a couple reasons, right? Number one, the older we get, we need to be a little more limber. Mm-hmm. We have to do more mobility. Mm-hmm. We have to make sure our hips ain't tight. Yep. So we can still do what we need to do. Mm-hmm. Right? But also, I think it's a great social hour.
Yeah.
It's a great social hour.
It is.
Because how many men are in hot yoga?
Not a whole lot.
Ain't a lot of men out there. Yeah. So you in there, you know what? You got to worry about testosterone and being judged. Because women are just a lot more welcoming. Mm-hmm. They're just going to be like, we'll teach you. We'll help you. Mm-hmm. They see you struggling a little bit. Mm-hmm. Men going to be like, Nick, get your ass up. Yeah. Come lift these weights.
Now, I'm going to tell you another good thing about hot yoga. Mm-hmm. That'll help you do your Fast and Furious chapter. If you're going from front seat to back seat.
Oh, see?
When you get to the spot and you need to go to the front to the back seat, man, you got to have good hips.
All I'm saying is, until you have experienced it, hot yoga. Look, I don't care all the weights y'all lift. You know, we got mini Ninja Turtle over here. Got the muscles and shit. All I'm going to say is, you ain't as strong as you think you are till you've been to hot yoga.
Yeah, I don't underestimate it at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the most important thing we should be talking about today?
Shoot, man. We talked about a lot already.
That's a fact, Jack.
It's been good. I was looking forward to this episode because we were talking a little bit about, age gaps. Yeah. Right? I only got one thing about age gaps. We're going to get off of it.
Let's get it.
I just don't think it's
not even that deep.
It's not as deep as people make it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, number one, what do you think the motivation is to date someone younger or older than you, right? And what are the things you have to consider when you're dating someone younger or older than you? Let's kind of get into that for a little bit, and then we'll get up out of here.
Yeah. Man, I just think it depends on where you at in life and what you've been through. Mm-hmm. You know, where I'm at in life is I only care about how I'm treated. Okay. I only care about how I'm treated. And what I can say is, it depends upon the actual age is, not just the gap, right? So if you got somebody in their early 30s and early 40s, you both should be mature enough to fool with each other. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? If the older person has high energy and it's healthy and take care of themselves, and the younger person ain't trying to party no more and be out in the street doing silly stuff, I think it's straight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I've noticed with younger ladies who are mature, they're a lot more progressive and aware of themselves, even though they might not be able to execute it the way they want to, a lot more aware. I think our peer group right now, they just seem to be the most angry with us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to call black women over 40 angry people, but it seems like y'all mad at us really, really bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Disappointed in us.
You know what I'm saying? Or disappointed, or I don't know if we represent fathers or lack thereof fathers or previous relationship. There's just a lot of things to unpack.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a little bit harder to find, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I also think that just from older man and younger woman in the right age group, meaning everybody over 30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing no Shannon Sharpe shit. Or no Diddy shit.
We ain't going that low.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about grown people, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's just more of a more seen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
More seen. You talked about this outside earlier, talking about just the starting point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Talk
don't want
about it.
The starting point with a lot of women in our peer groups at a deficit.
Yeah.
And the starting point with somebody a little bit younger, from a man perspective, is at a surplus. That means you have to mess it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I got that straight from you, so expound on it a little bit.
No, that's exactly what I think. I think that's one of the things that gets lost in the sauce, right? So as a man, you want to feel like you're, we our whole life we have to prove ourselves, right? So sometimes if you're dating someone a little bit younger, they're a little more enamored, right? So I get that.
Yeah.
So you start at a surplus. You date someone a little bit older, you are a lot of times starting from a deficit.
Yeah.
So you're trying to prove yourself. Well, over here, you just got to not mess it up.
Yeah.
Right? But I think there's this window of time in age gaps, right? To me, it's around about 10 years.
Yep.
Upwards or downwards.
Yep.
Right? I think that is a sweet spot because that spot can be reconciled by what have you been through, what season you're in.
Yeah. I think that 10-year gap is okay so long as the youngest person is over 30.
Yeah. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a big difference between 30 and 20.
I don't think people in their 20s can fool with people 10 years older quite yet.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
It's too much that happens in that.
Yeah.
In that 20 range.
Yeah. We're talking about 10 years. If the youngest person's over 30, I think that's straight.
Yeah.
For me personally.
I agree.
Because, I think that there's a huge mental difference between a 25-year-old and a 35-year-old.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think there's a different inexperience between a 30-year-old and a 40-year-old, but not necessarily emotional development.
Yeah.
That means you might not have experienced the same amount of shit I've experienced, but in terms of emotional development, you grown.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think there's some other things to consider though too. Like, so when people start, I think everything is fine and good when there's age gaps until things get practical.
Exactly.
Right? The practical part is what I think people don't take into account.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, do you want to be remarried? You want to be married? One person's been married, other person's never been married. Does that person want to remarry? Right? What about kids? If I've got kids, you're younger, you don't have no kids, how's it going to work?
Yeah.
Right? Am I willing to have more kids? Am I not?
Yeah.
Do I want somebody with kids? Do I not?
Yeah.
To me, that's practical. Are there other practical things you can think about?
Yeah, I mean, I think all that's practical. I think it got to be energy level, you know what I'm saying? Because one's going to have higher energy than the other. You got to think about health. You got to think about finances. And you got to think about just life. Like, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
Being able to relate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that, ladies in their 30s right now ain't too... So every generation, we're getting smarter, more developed, more advanced, more progressive. We have more information. We can evolve a little bit faster if we so choose to.
If we choose to. Yep.
So if you meet a younger woman above 30 that has chosen to do so, and vice versa, okay, I think that it could work.
Facts.
You dig what I'm saying? Because they don't let you off the hook. You got to have a conversation to be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know how to interrogate you. Like, do you want to have a kid? Because the kid's very important to me. If you don't want to have a kid, let me know. I won't fool with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you change your mind, I won't fool with you. That is still a mature conversation.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? Now, it's different if you got an underdeveloped young person that you can control.
Yeah.
That's when you can just do whatever you want. But that hasn't been my life experience. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's also this space of, I think probably that 30 plus generation has been exposed to something that we didn't necessarily get exposed to until later in life, which was healing, which was self-reflection, which was therapy, which was inner work. Right, I feel like that's like, because social media made it popular.
It's normalizing a bit.
It's normalized, so that's a good thing. It's a bad thing in some ways, but it's a good thing in a lot of ways, right? So I do think that there's this self-reflection piece that helps people be a little more emotionally mature faster.
Yeah.
Because they're exposed to it. Like, I didn't know about none of that kind of work till I was probably late 30s.
Exactly. You know, but it's easy to identify in our age bracket right now. You know, talking to the homies, they meet a woman, you could tell if they still like old school, like haven't evolved a bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you were there just to perform for them.
Just to perform for them. And I think that the younger generation, within reason, is way more in tune with how important friendship is.
Absolutely.
And being able to just straight kick it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why a lot of men will be open to dating a little bit younger. It's not because of just sex or beauty or physicality. It's because they could be your homie.
Yeah.
Like, that means whatever it is you're doing, when they roll up, they down to do it with you. Or if they're not down to do it with you, they down for you to do it while they just sit there and do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not be criticized and judged and offended by anything. You know, men want peace, money, and then sex. That's what most mature men want.
Especially mature men.
Mature men.
Yeah.
You know, now there are some men out there that want that sex first.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've talked about some examples of that, right?
Yeah.
But really it's peace, money, then sex. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like mature folks choose who brings peace.
That's a fact, though. I mean, I think there's so many dynamics to think about when you're thinking about that. So I think we judge too fast, right? But I do think there's some things that should be judged. Shannon Sharpe, right? So there's some things that should be judged. There's other things that have nuances to them.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there's also, you know, I love a mature woman, right, as well. So my wife's older than me. She's a little older than me. But when I was younger, I needed that.
Yeah.
And she's not that much older, but she's older.
Yeah.
But she was so much more mature than me that she helped me in so many ways. I could not imagine being like I'm 40 now, right? I could imagine a conversation with a 20-year-old.
Hell no.
Right? It's like, and I'm not even necessarily in the suit of I want to be able to teach you a bunch of stuff. I want you to have something you've already learned, and then be able to maybe add on to that.
Yeah.
But the idea of like raising someone is very creepy to me.
No, I totally agree with that, yo. Like having to raise them up, that means you're immature.
Yeah.
If you're older. And that also means your validation comes from a very controlling space.
Yes.
And that just says a lot about you.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So you can encourage development, but you're going to do that anyway.
Yeah. Just by being who you are.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do that. It don't matter who it is. It's just who's open to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who values it?
Who values
that's the other part he gets lost.
And who's open to it. That means I got some things I need from you. Are you open to it? Or you're gonna be offended every time I open my mouth.
That's a fact.
I'm just gonna choose a woman that ain't offended, so we can just talk through it. And I'm gonna choose a woman that knows how to ask me for what their needs are, and I can get it done without a bunch of forest to walk through. You feel me?
I feel you.
And I'm not trying to be judged all the time, or I don't want to be graded on that old school scale.
Yeah.
I actually want to be graded on the new school scale.
Yeah.
And friendship is the biggest part.
You know what's funny about this conversation, bro, is like, you know, women have asked us to define ourselves beyond things like protection and provision. But that also requires them to see us
in all the spaces.
In all the other spaces beyond protection and provision. But sometimes I wonder if traditional, like, women can even see that. Can they fathom who we are beyond what we provide and how we perform?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the deficit versus surplus. So you date an older woman, it'll take quite a bit of time for them to see you.
Yeah.
Even if they want to see you, even if they see it, they want to receive it or accept it. They're gonna keep like a little something because they've seen something like that before.
Yeah, and
like
it's at the onset,
you know what I'm saying? They've seen it, and somebody done some things to them. And you could be a good guy, and I'd be like, man, I already see that you've been treated bad.
Yeah.
I already see you've been treated poorly. I see all this shit. but they ain't got nothing to do with me. And I've got to ask myself how much time I want to invest to just become at status quo, just even.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you could choose somebody that has a little bit less, that has life experience. So in order to have a younger woman that's mature enough to be with you, 10-year gap, that means they've had life experience, right?
Yeah.
But they're not carrying around baggage from previous relationships like that. They mostly carry around childhood stuff like we are.
Yeah.
You can do that together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got time for what Johnny did to your ass last year. Shit.
He said Johnny. Man, look, we got to get up out here in a second.
Let's get out.
We got one more thing to do.
Let's talk to me.
Got one more thing to do. So we have a segment. It's called Talk to TNT.
Talk to TNT.
And it's our best segment so far. We've got a bunch of questions in, right? And we ask people to DM us and tell us about Talk to TNT. Like, tell us what your question is. So you got a question there? Can you pull it up?
I got to know. Yes, I have the question. Let me pull it up.
Pull it up. So this is the Talk to TNT segment. And so if you have a question, you DM us, let us know, and we'll respond to it. But Trell's going to pull up what is the question for the day. It's a little bit long, so rock with us. Rock with us.
What's up, TNT? I need some real advice. I've been dating this woman for about 6 months. She's a dope woman. Very smart, funny, sexy, likes to have fun. But she's still very cool with her ex, which she told me from the very beginning. They've known each other since kids, dated for a few years, but it didn't work out. Her family and his family are very close. They all hang out together for holidays, events, etc. She swears there's nothing here feeling-wise. For context, they dated for about 5 years, been broken up for 2. I'd be lying if I said it doesn't bother me. Am I being insecure, or is this a red flag I shouldn't ignore?
Back around.
Please respond.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you got to.
Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
FLEG, flag, flag.
Listen, let me tell you something. I understand what he's saying. Right?
Yeah.
He's trying to say, okay, am I being insecure because of her relationship? It was there before me, that kind of thing. What I'm going to tell you is your relationship has to make you feel comfortable. You should be the priority now. So what that tells me is that means that boundaries have to be set.
Facts.
So, no, ain't no more coming around during holidays. No, ain't no more calling in the middle of the night and being BFFs.
Nope.
And if that person is your friend for real, they'll respect that.
Facts.
What you think?
I think that, it's a tough situation. So I'm going to operate under the umbrella that it is a good woman who won't do dirt.
Yeah.
You'll never feel comfortable, Holmes.
Never.
You're never going to feel comfortable just because of access and power within the space, because you're coming on new and you're trying to impress the family. Yeah. You're trying to impress mom or dad, aunties, cousins, brothers, sisters, and he already has all that juice. He's grown up around him the whole time. But here's the kicker to it, though, Holmes. You've got to look at how the family responds. Here's how I believe a good family, and when I say good family, I'm talking about in terms of your relationship, good supporters of your relationship. They wouldn't allow him to come around like that.
Nah.
Now, they won't allow him just to type the code in, do, and walk in the house, because that's going to make you feel bad. They won't let him come in and just upstage you all damn day long and just be around all the time. They won't talk about you, talk about the other person, all that. So I would grade it, if you're thinking about staying in it, grade it off the family. Because me and you were talking, if the shoe were on the other foot, right, and I was the other guy, Troy told me straight up, I can't come over.
Yeah.
I couldn't come over to this house when you and your lady was there, because that causes a conflict. So you're going to have to make sure the family operates like that. And if they don't operate like that, Holmes, listen to your spirit, listen to your feelings. Because don't be afraid of abandonment. Don't be afraid of thinking that you're leaving or abandoning the woman. But all of it has to work.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? What you going to do if y'all have a kid and come home and talk about Uncle Johnny?
Yeah.
I saw Uncle Johnny today.
Hey, sometimes lines got to be drawn in the sand.
Facts.
That's just what it is. Like to me, here's the challenge. I'm gonna say this, then we're gonna get up out of here. What if it was the flip side of the situation? Mm-hmm. What if it was your ex-girl?
Never be trusted.
Your ex-girl can come around for Christmas and Thanksgiving and baby showers and funerals and all the things.
You wouldn't have no girlfriend.
Right? What would she say then? That's all I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to drop my mic. Bye. So listen, let's close this thing out, man. But that was good. So shout out to you for sending us a letter.
Thank you.
Hopefully you find that advice valuable, but follow your instincts.
Yeah, follow your instincts.
They ain't gonna lie to you.
Befriend them.
They ain't gonna lie to you. Try, but they're gonna be hard.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard because you're gonna have flashbacks.
Can't be my homie.
But no, man, it's been a good episode. I knew it was gonna be a good episode when I turned my hat to the back.
Yeah, that's a fact, Jack. I knew that too.
I don't ever turn my hat to the back.
You got activated.
I'm activated tonight.
Activate.
So appreciate your input, man. Hey, I always appreciate you as a host.
Yeah.
Alongside me.
Yeah.
And
mutual.
I mean, it's a great relationship. I think we have dope conversations.
That's a fact, Jack.
And I want the people to keep tapping in.
Come on with it.
Right? So if you enjoy TNT Unleashed, you need to do a couple things. I need you to follow us on Instagram. That's at TNT Unleashed Podcast. Follow us on TikTok, TNT Unleashed Podcast. Follow us on YouTube. Matter of fact, go to YouTube right now. Subscribe. Hit the button. TNT Unleashed Podcast. Do it right now.
Do it now.
And finally, they need to go to Apple and Spotify, all the places. Leave a review.
Apple Podcast.
5 stars.
5
all the
stars.
things. If you rock with us, we need you to share this content with other people. That's the only way we continue to grow. The only way these good conversations get out to the public.
That's a fact, Jack. Download it, share.
Download it. Do it. All the things.
You know what I'm saying?
All the things.
Invite us to Christmas dinners.
It's time to go. I'm trying to leave before he starts singing. So this is TNT Unleashed Podcast. This is where authenticity live. It's where ego dies. Where we talk about everything from life, love, relationships, everything in between. You might laugh, you might cry. But we hope you leave what?
Unleashed. Christmas dinner, baby.
Stop singing.